In this video, we are going to see how to get notification on Slack when a specific value appears in Google Sheet. So let's say I'm a stock manager and I have all the stock details in my spreadsheet. Here we have taken the example of Google Sheet. Now I want that every time the stock number goes below a specific number, then automatically my team should be notified, which is sitting on Slack. How can that be done? For this, I'll have to integrate Google Sheets and Slack, and the same thing can be done using Pabbly Connect software. So here, my trigger application will be Google Sheets and my action application will be Slack. Now, how can you do this yourself? Integrate and automate this entire process? To understand that, let me take you to my screen. To begin with the process, we are first going to type the URL pabbly.com/connect, and here we have reached the landing page. Now since I'm an existing user, I'm simply going to click on sign in. If you are a new user, you can sign up. It is not going to take more than 2 minutes. Here we have reached all applications page. These are the various products of Pabbly, and here we are going to click on access now for Pabbly Connect. As we do that, this is the dashboard. On the right hand side, there's a tab create workflow. Let's click on this. And this dialog box has appeared which is asking us to name this workflow. Now here my objective is that I've got a spreadsheet where every time a specific value appears, then a notification has to be sent to Slack where my team is sitting. So I'm going to name it as send notification on Slack when a particular value appears in Google Sheet. Let's click on create. As we do that, here we have reached another window which has got two extremely important events. One is trigger, another one is action. Now triggers and actions are basically those two principles or concepts on which this entire automation works. Trigger is when this happens, action says do this. Basically action here is the response of your trigger application. Now as per this integration, my trigger application will be Google Sheets. Let's click on this, and then we have the trigger event. Now the trigger event is the event that is going to make this workflow run, and here it is new or updated spreadsheet row. Now you can see we have received a webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge for connecting Google Sheets with Pabbly Connect. I'm going to copy this, and then we have to follow the following help desk given. Now please read this help desk carefully. Let me show you what you have to do. So first of all, let me show you the spreadsheet that I have created. The name of the spreadsheet here is Slack Alert. There's only one particular sheet which is sheet 1. Here I've got 3 column fields: product, number of device and condition. So here I'm going to first of all go to extensions, go to add-ons, go to get add-ons, and here you can see we have reached Google Workspace Marketplace. Here we have to look for Pabbly Connect webhooks. This is the software, and you can see that this application has already been installed on my system. So please make sure that once you have installed this, close this window and do not forget to refresh the page. And once you have done that, we are going to wait for a few seconds, and then we are going to go back to extensions. So here you would be able to see Pabbly Connect webhooks. Let's go to initial setup. Now here you can see that the system has already selected the sheet. Here we have to paste the webhook URL that we have just received. I'm going to copy this and paste this over here. Then we have to enter the trigger column. Now the trigger column is the final data column where the data is added. Now as per this sheet, my data has been finally added to column number B because column number C is absolutely blank. So here I'm going to mention column B. Let's click on submit. As I do that, here you can see that the configuration is all set. Now send test, and we can see that the test data has been sent successfully. Now I'm going to close this. So here let's go to Pabbly Connect and check if we have received the response. And here you can see that yes, we have received the response. So this here is the trigger column, spreadsheet name, ID, sheet name, sheet ID. Then we have the row index, product and number of device. Now here I want that every time a new row is added here with information, then I should receive the response. To make sure that this happens, we have to go back to Pabbly Connect webhooks, and here you can see send on event. So please click on this. As you do that, here you would be able to see a tick mark right in front. So this makes sure that every time there's a new event added here, then the response would be received by Pabbly Connect. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect, and here what is my objective? Now here my objective is that every time if my stock is less than 50, then a notification should be sent to my team sitting on Slack. And if it is more than 50 or equal to 50, then it is a safe thing, which means that I do not need to order any more product. Now since this contains conditions, here I'm going to use a feature by Pabbly which is router. Now this router steps allows to execute different actions based on the filter conditions that we set. So first of all, here I'm going to rename the first step. So let's click on rename, and here I'm going to write insufficient quantity. And I'm going to click on update. Now let's go to filter and action steps. Now I'm going to go to the first step, which is the Google Sheets, and here I'm going to go to the number of devices, which is 45. Now if this amount is less than 50, then what should happen? So first of all, I'm going to click on save and send test request, and here you can see that the condition is true. Why? Because the number that we have received is 45, which is less than 50. So if the amount is less than 50, then first of all, I'm going to put a condition in my Google Sheet. So here I'm going to again look for Google Sheet. So here it is. And what is the action event? The action event here would be to update cell value. So let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Google Sheets account. So I'm going to click on add new connection, sign in with Google. As I do that, here we have to choose an account. So I have chosen the same. And now here Pabbly Connect Sheets wants additional access to my Google account. So I'm going to click on continue. And as I do that, here you can see that the authorization has been successful. Now here we have to first of all select the spreadsheet. So you can see it has already been done by the system. The system has automatically selected the sheet as well. Now here we have to enter the range, and the range has to be entered in this format: column name and row index. So what is the column name here? The column is column C. So here I'm going to write C. And then what is the row index? For this, I'm going to go to step 1, and this here is the row index. Now this method with which I have added the information here is known as mapping, and this is important so that every time the workflow runs, it can take the new data into consideration. Next thing is the value. What is the value that I want to enter? So here I'm going to enter insufficient quantity. Okay, so this basically means that every time the amount is less than 50, then automatically insufficient quantity is going to appear in front of the amount, and then a Slack notification will be sent to the team that this particular product has to be ordered. Now I'm going to click on save and send test request. As I do that, here we have received the response. Now let's go back to Slack alert Google Sheet, and you can here see that insufficient quantity. This remark has been added to column C. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. Now here, since the amount is insufficient, so a message has to be sent to my team sitting on Slack. So here I'm going to choose my action application as Slack. Let's click on this. Now the action event here would be to send channel message. Let's click on connect. So here Pabbly Connect is asking to connect itself with the Slack account. I'm going to select add new connection, connect with Slack. As I do that, here we have to enter the token type. Since the messages that I send to my team may or may not contain some URLs, videos or documents, we always go for user. Let's click on save. And as I do that, here Pabbly Connect is requesting permission to access the Pabbly Slack workspace. So here I'm going to click on allow. And as we do that, we can see that the authorization has been successful. Now I'm going to go down, and here we have to enter the following information. So first of all, we have to enter the channel. For this, let me take you to my Slack account. So this here is my Slack account. These are the various workspaces. Now within this Pabbly workspace, I have created a channel. The name is order quantity alert. And here I have added a few people. Now if you want to create your own channel, you can just go and click on add channels and your work would be done. Now here let's go back to Pabbly Connect, and here I'm going to look for order quantity alerts. Here it is. Now what is the message that I want to share with my team? So I'm going to write, team, the following product is showing insufficient quantity. It needs to be ordered. What is the product name? For this, I'm going to go to step 1, and here I'm going to add the name of the product. And then I'm just going to simply write regards, and that is it. So now here, if you want to add any URL, you can do the same. Now I'm going to go down and just click on save and send test request. And as I do that, here we have received the API response according to which a message must be received by the team on Slack. Let's go and check the same. And yes, here we can see that it has been done. So once this is done, I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect. Here I'm just going to close this. Now let's go to route 2. So here first of all, let's rename this, and here it is written sufficient quantity. Now I'm going to click on update. So as I do that, here we have to set the filter and action steps. Now here I'm going to put a filter which says that the number of device which we are going to take from step 1, the number of device, if this is equal to 50. Now here I'm going to also put an OR condition that if this number, again let's go down, and number of device, if this is greater than, so I'm going to choose greater than, and here I'm going to write 50. So if it is equal to 50 or if it is more than 50, then what should happen? In my Google Sheet, the cell value should be updated as sufficient quantity. So I'm going to first click on save and send test request. And here you can see the condition is false. Why? Because our number is 45. Now here I'm going to choose my next action application, which is Google Sheets. Here it is. And now the action event here would be to update cell value. Let's click on connect. And here again I'm going to go ahead with the existing connection. And now as I take you down, you can see that the system has already selected the spreadsheet and the sheet. Now here we have to enter the range. So what is our column field? Our column field here is C. So I'm going to mention C here. And then for the row index, let's go to step 1. This here is the row index. Once done, the value. So here I'm going to write sufficient quantity. And now I do not have to send any message to my team on Slack. So when I do that, here we can see that our workflow is all set. Now I'm going to take you back to my Google Sheet. Now here let's say that my product is new P. Okay, and here as soon as I write the quantity, which is let's say 67, what should happen? Automatically it should say that this is sufficient quantity, right? So yes, here we can see sufficient quantity. And now as I write demo new, so let's say this is the product, and what is the number? It is only 40. What should happen? Automatically insufficient quantity should be mentioned right in front, and then a message should be sent on Slack as well. So yes, we can see for demo new, this message has been released. This means that our integration is a success. Now I'm going to take you back to Pabbly Connect to understand what we have done. So here this was an extremely easy workflow where the trigger application was Google Sheet, the event was new or updated spreadsheet row. Then we had put a conditional feature by Pabbly, which is router, and here we had two routes. One was insufficient quantity, another was sufficient quantity. Within insufficient quantity, first we had put a filter that if the value is less than 50, then first the Google Sheet cell value should be updated with insufficient quantity, and then a message should be sent on Slack. And the second route was that if the number is more than or equal to 50, then the workflow should run and automatically the Google Sheet should be updated with the cell value, sufficient quantity, and no message has to be sent on Slack. So I hope this is absolutely clear to you. If in case you have any doubt, you can refer to the workflow which is given in the video description. You can also clone the same and start to process immediately. Apart from this, if you have any specific integration to work on, you can always write to us. Not only this, but you can integrate multiple applications using Pabbly Connect software. To ask any of your query, you have to write at forum.pabbly.com. You can also visit our website, which is www.pabbly.com/connect. To get all the details about the latest updates, the integrations and applications, you can visit our Facebook group. If in case you have found this video helpful, then do not forget to share this with your friends and colleagues so that they can also get into automation and make their life easy. I'm going to see you very soon with different integrations and automations. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Take care of yourself.